Have you ever replayed a big accident scene and asked yourself, how on earth did I survive this crash? And also, who is responsible for all this mess? This is exactly what happened to me this week in Watkins Glen. We started on pole on our very first race this week at Watkins Glen. I have to say we are in a lower split than usual, 5th split out of 10, still SOF of around 1700. But it surprised me that we qualified so well. I did some practice before the start of the race, but in my mind I still thought that the quality was a bit of an outlier and we would have to defend ourselves against the guys behind. The start was surprisingly smooth throughout the field. This little spin from car number 6 was the only incident in the opening corners, and so we managed to protect our lead for the first couple of laps, and we also built a gap of around 2 seconds to the car behind. Everything was smooth sailing for the beginning. But then the guy behind started to find some pace. 2 laps later he was right behind us, and here we ran a bit wide on this right-hander, giving us a very bad exit for the following straight. He is right behind us, moves alongside and outbrakes us going into the next corner. I didn't really defend this one. I felt he was quite a bit quicker than me, and I just wanted to survive as the track was quite tricky to drive, low grip, high temperatures, and we just tried to stick behind him as best as we could. And speaking of tricky to drive, we did this big mistake here, exit of the bus stop chicane. We clipped the barrier with our rear wing, small damage, and lost one more position to the red car number 2. Solid start, but now mistakes started to creep in. We skipped ahead to lap number 10. Temperatures, as I said, are very high, the grip is low, and especially this bus stop chicane was extremely difficult to drive. As we see the leader spinning out on the exact same corner a couple of meters later, also clipping the barrier. He rejoins the track right in front of us, and we try to get the move done here on turn number 6. We go a little bit deep. He tries to switcheroo, but our exit is much better. Going to turn 7, we have the inside line and we get the overtake done, so P2 back in our hands for now. And it looks like car number 4 had a bit of a damage. We managed to build a gap, and we also slowly started to creep back up to the leader. Our pace was pretty good, and he did the same mistake with even bigger consequences on the same corner, lost the rear and slammed into the wall. And yeah, the lead and the win of the race was gifted to us like that in the end. So first race and first win of the week, ready to go for a high split now. So next race we started P6, 3rd split now. Much stronger drivers around us. The lap times we did before were not enough as we get sandwiched going into turn 1 from 2 cars. Luckily we escaped that and survived the first corner, and things are going to get very messy as this corner right here, turn 3, going up the hill, very low grip, especially with cold tires. We somehow survive another accident, and behind us complete pandemonium as one of the biggest crashes I've ever seen unfolds behind us. So let's check how that happened. The sandwich into turn 1 actually wasn't quite that bad from the offboard, but our main protagonist is the guy that is here on our right, black car number 15. He gets a good run up the hill, but somehow he loses grip, slams into the barrier. We somehow avoid him, and then it's, yeah, domino effect, bowling ball effect, call it whatever you want. There's such high speed, there's no way to avoid a stranded car on the middle of the road there. And look now how close we were to get caught up on this as well, millimeters away from the rear from car number 15, and behind us it's just hell. And interestingly enough, there were actually 2 accidents at the same time. As we watch here, car number 11 and car number 20 spin each other out. Car number 8 crashes into them and then meets the other accident that was caused by car number 15. And yeah, this means it's actually 2 big accidents at once. I think 10 cars got DNF'd here. I've never seen anything like this ever. And yeah, very glad that we survived this. We're gonna take one last look of one of the back markers. Car 22 was right at the back and he brakes, almost stops on the road as he tries to not get hit by anybody, and he goes through the field through both accidents unscratched. Yeah, this is us on P5 trying to catch up to the field ahead of us. Didn't really know at that time what happened behind me, and I was just focused in front, and the guy on P2, blue number 12, gets overtaken here into turn 7, and he somehow, yeah, loses the rear going up the hill, crashes. And this is another position for us, and this poor guy, number 3, cannot avoid him in time, and yeah, he had to DNF after that. So P4 for now, as the leading group has come together. It's basically, yeah, a black car, a red and white one, and the red car in front of us. And yeah, the red car ahead of us is basically the podium position, so we managed to apply a little bit of pressure. Looks like we are a bit quicker as we try to make a move here on turn number 8, but he moves to the side, lets us pass. Yeah, for us, very smart thing to do, because we didn't lose any time, and he is going to try stick behind us now, follow us through, and we will now go for a hunt to P2. A couple of laps later, the leader started to creep away, but we were inching our way towards P2 as he now makes a mistake into turn 8. Nothing dramatic, just goes a little bit wide, loses enough time for us to get past. We were there within a second, so no chance for him to survive that without losing a position. We get past him, and now something very interesting is going to unfold as we are approaching the end of lap 6, beginning of lap number 7. He stays very close behind us in our slipstream. You can see the gap there, 0.2 seconds on the start and finish straight. I was worried that he might go for a move there into turn 1 as we switch to the offboard from the P3 guy, and yeah, P2 guy makes a mistake into turn 1, spins out and gets also a little crash from the other guy, and this was the perfect scenario for us because this lost them a lot of time. And now we were very safe on P2. The leader got away, but yeah, beautiful P6 to P2 on our second race on a high split, where things are going to get more difficult. Higher SOF, 1.9k, still the third split, but a much more stacked up time slot as we go unscratched through turn 1, which is very positive. So far, 3 out of 3 survive turn 1s, and especially turn 2 and 3 on lap number 1 of this race are very scary as we see another incident. This time car number 14, yeah, from the back markers, did a crash there, but didn't really affect our race, so we're not gonna go into too much detail about that. We are currently sitting on P10, if I'm not mistaken, and it's lots of cars within a couple of seconds as, yeah, there is basically a slipstream train going to be built. I think the first 15 cars were within 3 seconds, which is actually crazy. We tried to go for a half-hearted move here on car number 10. He leaves us enough space but gets a better exit. We cannot get the move done, as I was thinking of trying again going to turn 8. We go to the inside, he leaves us enough space again, but yeah, didn't want to go for a crazy dive bomb. He did leave us enough space, but no overtake was possible. We both live for another day as everybody is super close to everybody around. So the slipstream effect on the straights is negated, and therefore it's even more difficult to do a move. And here I almost make the mistake of going into the wall on turn 3. Luckily I braked early enough, but yeah, we lost so much momentum. 2 guys overtook us as, yeah, car number 17 in front of us spins out on the famous bus stop chicane, and we lost 2 positions from my mistake and gained 1 from the crash of car number 17, as a couple of corners later car number 8, the red one, says goodbye. So yeah, 2 positions gained, 2 positions lost on this lap in total. And now we're chasing down purple car number 1, and we have actually skipped ahead to lap 9, where this is the situation now. Car number 6, the black car here, is the leading pack. I think he was P4 at the time, and he was kind of holding up all cars behind. There's like 7 or 8 cars. We are the last car of the train, and he is basically kind of holding us up all together. But nobody could really make an overtake. As you can see, we are struggling to keep up with the train. I would say we were pretty much the slowest out of all of them. And here is another victim, car number 20. He was also in the train, 3 cars ahead of us, and we get a position from him. But other than that, nothing really happened. The train stayed the same throughout a couple of laps. Then this guy here made a mistake, 2 positions ahead of us, but we were not close enough to make a move stick into the next corner. So we have to stay behind him, and then he gets his momentum back and also the slipstream of the car ahead. Yeah, and even on the last lap we were very close, but difficult to overtake on this track in general. Very slippery, low grip, high temperatures. The tires are overheating. I also didn't want to risk too much here on the final lap. So in the end, it is going to be a P9 in a very respected lobby, I would say. And yeah, all in all, 3 very interesting races. Yeah, if you enjoyed those races, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're gonna have a go at Watkins Glen this week, and see you soon on the racetrack. Bye bye.